Are you tired of the same yucky contest prep food that makes you want to vomit all the time?
Have no fear, I am here to make your contest prep food a lot better. Hey guys, it's Ilana and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna be showing you 3 contest prep recipes that don't suck. Contest prep food, it is disgusting. It can get old and bland really quickly. So I'm here to provide some fun alternatives for you to enjoy while you are on prep. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get cooking. Keep in mind that everyone's prep is different. So these recipes may not work for you depending on what stages you are in prep. But if you are in the early to mid stages, these recipes should be safe for you to eat while you are on your journey, and I will have all the macros listed in the video so you can determine if this is good for your prep or not. Okay, so we're gonna be doing 3 recipes. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna be doing a breakfast recipe, a lunch recipe, and a dinner recipe. One of the recipes is vegetarian and the other 2 are vegan. So if that suits your fancy, then you're gonna really like these recipes. So let's start off with the breakfast recipe. This is one of my favorite things to eat while I'm on contest prep. That is protein pancakes. I absolutely love pancakes. They are just everything. So I'm gonna be teaching you how to make a fun, quick, and easy pancake recipe that is very contest prep friendly. So you will need the following. So you will need some egg whites, some oats, some cottage cheese, protein powder, and vanilla. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing all those ingredients together, and I will show you step by step how to do that. Okay, so you're gonna need a mixing bowl. I don't really have a lot of measuring cups, so I'm just gonna use this as my measuring cup, and then I have some measuring spoons that you will need. We're gonna take some of our protein powder, and you're just gonna literally use just 1 scoop of it, like that. I already have these measured out, but you're gonna take 1/4 of rolled oats and you're just gonna kind of put them in the bowl like that. You're gonna take your rolled oats and protein powder and you're gonna dump them into a food processor. And then next you're gonna take about 1/2 cup of cottage cheese. I know it sounds really weird to be using cottage cheese, but trust me, this is going to make the batter very, very creamy. And then next, I'm gonna go ahead and take 1 tablespoon of egg whites. Actually, I might do 2 just to be on the safe side. Finally, I'm gonna take 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my NutriBullet, and then we're gonna go ahead and blend this up.
So as I was cooking this, the pan sucked, and I also didn't have Pam spray, so I had to use regular oil, which didn't work, so these turned out to be a fail. But generally, they do look like they are supposed to once you flip them over into nice circles, and I promise they taste really good.
Okay guys, so now we're gonna move on to the second recipe, and that is the lunch recipe, and it is a Mexican quinoa salad. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love Mexican food. I'm always craving it. So I wanted to put together a fun Mexican recipe that you can eat while you are preparing for your competition. So you're gonna need the following ingredients. You're gonna need some quinoa, some black beans, some spinach, and some pico de gallo. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is to put a pan of boiling water and heat it up, and then put a little under a cup of quinoa into that and let that cook for about 20 minutes. So while the quinoa is cooking, this is the perfect time to go ahead and prepare the rest of the meal. That way all you have to do is add the quinoa and then boom, the meal is over. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have 4 containers out. I'm gonna start off with some organic spinach for the base of my Mexican quinoa bowl. And honestly, I just take a big handful and I just plop them on in there. So I have a good amount of veggies, and I like to warm this up. And when I do warm this up, the spinach will shrink, and I don't want it to shrink too much to the point where there's no veggies. So that's why I load up on the spinach. So when it shrinks, there's still a good amount of spinach left in my quinoa bowl. So for the next step, we're gonna go ahead and add black beans to our bowl. I'm gonna take the same little cup that I was using, and I'm just gonna take a nice little scoop and just plop them into my containers so I get a nice dose of protein in my quinoa bowls. Black beans are like my favorite thing. And so for the third step, I'm gonna go ahead and add my pico de gallo in here. I'm clearly not gonna use the whole tub, but I'm gonna take the same cup and I'm just gonna scoop it. This is probably about 1/3 of a cup right here. Now I have 3 ingredients in, and my quinoa is almost done, and that will be the last thing that we will add into this meal. I'm gonna go ahead and take the same cup that I've been using and scoop out some quinoa and just put it into the bowl. Be safe, I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab a fork because this is pretty dangerous. There we go, much better. So that completes this second meal. So one thing that you can add to this recipe, which I don't have on me, but I will add once I'm ready to eat these, is to add a small scoop of guacamole for a fun and creamy taste that you can enjoy while you eat your Mexican quinoa bowl. Let's move on to the final recipe. Okay, so let's go on to the third and final recipe. And so this is going to be a buffalo tofu salad. So you are going to need the following. You are going to need some tofu, some spring mix, corn, diced tomatoes, buffalo sauce, and vegan ranch for a creamy touch. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so it's easiest when you have cubed tofu that's ready to go. So I'm just gonna kind of dump it gently out onto this cutting board. And I'm gonna just take my hand and I'm just gonna kind of smush them together like this so they cannot be so firm. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is cook your tofu. So you're gonna put it into a flat pan. I recommend that you cook it with some olive oil. And basically you're just gonna put everything in the pan and then you're gonna add the buffalo sauce while the tofu is cooking so it can basically get saturated with the buffalo sauce as it is cooking. So now, while the tofu is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and add our ingredients into our containers. So I'm gonna start off with my baby spring mix. And again, doing the same thing with the spinach, just taking a nice handful because I do warm these up in a microwave. And then next I'm gonna take some diced tomatoes and I'm gonna take my handy dandy little container. I'm just gonna take a scoop and just start dumping them in there. I'm gonna take the corn and start taking scoops and dumping them in there. And finally, we're gonna go ahead and add the tofu. I'm just gonna kind of use my best judgment while adding the tofu in here. But basically, you wanna just get maybe, let's say, like at least 1/4 of a cup, maybe even 1/3 to have. Well guys, that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed meal prepping with me. If you learned something new and you loved these recipes, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!